9, last one. 10. Good job. So from there, so we can get a prisoner jumping squats. How are you feeling? Are you okay? Good. Hold the head. We're going in for 20 reps. Let's do this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Push it. 7, 8, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Breathe. A few seconds to breathe. Good stuff. So our next exercise, we're pushing for 30 reps. The plank jack. You just jump it in. Then you tap your shoulders. Breathe. Are we good? Good stuff. Let's do this. So you're here, out, here, there, then tap your shoulders. That's one, okay? That's what we're doing for 30 reps. So give me your speed, give me your best. Beginners, like I said, give me the best you can. I don't want to limit you with 10. If you can only hack 6, please do it. Just do it well. If you can hack 15, kindly do it. Okay, so limit yourself by ensuring that you're doing the right workout, the right posture, and just push yourself a bit. Usijisikile huruma sana. So let's start this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The left, my hands are wet. 6. Push it, push it, push it. 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 1. Oh, that feels good, eh? 9 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh. How are you feeling? It's intense, eh? Legs, your core. Mine on fire. Breathe. Take some few more seconds. Just breathe. Breathe. Let's stretch a bit here. The other side. Good. Your waistline, we're not done. Just giving you some time to breathe. I also catch my breath. Shrug your shoulders. Quads. Just the neck round. The other side. Perfect. So now, from there, keep pushing into the next one. So, our next exercise, we're going to do mountain climbers. 40 mountain climbers. Okay? Tujichoche, sawa. You can hack this, we have done it before. Let's do this. So you're starting again from number 1. Go happy with the push-up for 10 reps. Let's go. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Relax there. Take next exercise. Prisoner jump squat for 20 reps. Breathe. Breathe. Going to give you a longer break. Just breathe. Relax. Relax there. Very good. Are you okay? Good stuff. So going for the prisoner jump squat. We're shooting in for 20 reps. Are you ready? Let's do this. 20 reps. Shika kichwa. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. Relax there. Up or hold it there. There. Okay. So we're going in for 30 reps. The jump in, the plank jump, the jump in, and then shoulder taps. Are you okay? I'm good. You proceed. Take some few more seconds. Just breathe. Good, we start. Good stuff. So after this one, remember we're going back to the mountain climbers. Okay? So here you're on 30 reps. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my God, my legs. Are you feeling it? I'm on 20 reps. 10 more. Proceed if you can. Proceed. I'm on 10 more reps. You? I'm feeling it. My core is feeling it. My quads are feeling it. It's an awesome one. Good. We have 10 more to go. Stretch out the leg. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh my. How are you feeling? Breathe. Are you okay? Take a few seconds breather. Relax there. Let me go up. Good. Shrug your shoulders. Backward. Just the neck round. Good. Place your knees down. You're on the last one. Relax. Get here. Just hold it down, breathe. Good. Take your body up there. Breathe it there. Just breathe. Good stuff. Now, so again, mountain climbers, 40 reps, and then we're done. Okay? Are you ready? Yeah, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those are mountain climbers. Sorry, I didn't do that demonstration a bit. So if you've never done a mountain climber before, ensure that your shoulders and your palms they are parallel. Okay, it's quite heavy. So we're doing 40 reps. There, that's the posture. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. Just breathe. As usual, we finish off with a plank hold, then we do a stretch. How are you feeling? Are you good? That was a light way to end up the week. Hope you have enjoyed it. So you're going to set to go for 1 minute plank. Are you okay? Still need some more time to breathe, some more time to delay. So take more, at least 20 more seconds. 20 more seconds, then we start. Alright? Stretch your body then. Give me the plank, give me the best you can. Hold it for as long as you can. Ensure that the posture is correct. Okay. Breathe. Michelle, you ready? Alright. Let's do this. Let's go. 1 minute plank. And breathe in. We have 45 seconds to go. We have 30 more seconds to go. We have 20 seconds to go. We have 10 seconds to go. And stop. You okay? I'm sweating. You're sweating, hope you're feeling good. That was a good short session. Hope you have enjoyed it. Only 4 exercises, but I'm sure we have served our body right. Okay. Let's do a stretch, then we can start off our day. Okay. Let's start here. Good. The other side. Holding the legs there. Hold your ankle there. Good. Your waistline. The other side. Good. Shrug your shoulders. Backwards. Twist your neck round. The other side. Good. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's go. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in. Out. Last round, breathe in. And out. Thank you so much for staying tuned to NTV. Hope you've enjoyed Today is NTVT's Nyumbani. See you next week, Komajaliwa. Bye.
From far with you. I even gifted you a magnificent house. Rosa, it's the thought that counts. Please help me.
When it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Panadol Baby and Infant, tough on fever, gentle on your child.
Hello, Susan. Yes, you. Holding that pack. I know you've been avoiding me because in the past I've made you uncomfortable. Maybe even caused you pain. But I want you to know that I have changed. For you.
Aye, what is this?
You can love me again if you're willing to give me another chance. Meet me at aisle 4. Hey, Susan.
It's lactose free!
We know you love milk, and now there is milk that loves you. With Gold Crown lactose-free milk, you can enjoy the richness of natural cow's milk without any of the digestion discomfort. Gold Crown lactose-free milk that loves you.
Credit to you. If you stay at home, if you must shop online, use your NCBA credit card. Stay home. Stay safe.
Umewahi jichanganya? Ukanunua choko yako ikue alamu, alafu bwana yako akakuja jioni, akakula hiyo alamu akaitengeneza kitoweo. Kuna karembo hapa kananiangalia kameshaka, kamecheka mpaka lipstick huko imeisha. Anacheka na mdomo ya chwati.
Our shelves are fully stocked and prices greatly discounted for you to make that quick and easy return to school. With thousands of back-to-school items, price cuts on your Chuo favorites, and points to score on your Naivas card. Back to school that's safe on your pocket. Naivas saves you money.
Love garlic in your food but hate the hassle of making it? Introducing Fresh Fried Garlic, specially crafted with garlic oil for healthy living. The oil has a beautiful garlic aroma and adds an extra kick when used on your favorite meals. Fresh Fried Garlic combines wonderfully on salads, stir fries, marination for meat, or simply when sprinkled on your favorite dish. Try Fresh Fried Garlic today. Available in all leading outlets countrywide.
Mix of the Week in association with Airtel.
I don't charge my energy.
For the journey, for the journey.
Bossy, bossy.
Look in the mirror, say yes, I'm the best.
This is a short deal.
Completely transparent.
Okay.
If only all things in life were as honest as Airtel's amazing data. Get 500 MB free daily. Switch to Airtel and save. The Honest Network.
Mr. Evans fits the criteria of a malignant narcissist. Acts of rage frequently involving the attentions of a woman.
You look so beautiful when you sleep.
When I was in prison, I thought a lot about you.
Colin, I tried to wait.
No, you didn't.
There's violence in this man.
Your parole is denied.
Vina vegetable oil stays liquid to the last drop, so it's smooth cooking from start to finish. Now with an easy-to-pour cap. Mapishi poa, madishi poa.
This is NTV.
Hello, East Africa. It's Friday, the 16th of October, and today we're taking you to the movies. Welcome to your world. My name is Joseph Warungu, and coming up,
you and me acting as lovers.
This morning, we take a look at a number of films that are creating big waves in the international film industry, and we talk to the people involved. This film was made in 2018 and it has received international awards and recognition. Recently, it has made a return to the international market and people can't stop talking about it. Meet the stars in a few minutes.
My dad got hurt by that police.
Photojournalist and socio-political activist Boniface Mwangi and wife Njeri Mwangi allowed the camera to document their lives for 7 years. And the result is this amazing film, Softy.
You're an Oxford dentist.
I do know my way around.
Disconnect is a star-studded film that has recently made its debut on the international film market, and actor Nick Mutuma is here to tell us all about it. And this morning, we're asking you, what should Kenya do to ensure a bigger presence for its film industry on the international scene? Share your comments, your thoughts, or indeed your questions on our hashtag #NewNormal. Now, but first, let's track the journey of COVID-19 around the world, starting with a global picture as at this moment, 39,170,483 people have been confirmed positive for COVID-19. Of these, 29,378,708 have recovered, while sadly 1,102,926 people from around the world have passed on as a result of COVID-19. Moving across to the African continent, starting with South Africa, 698,184 people confirmed positive for COVID-19, and out of these, 628,301 have so far recovered, while in South Africa, sadly, they've lost 18,309 people. Coming to our region in East Africa, first of all, with our Kenyan numbers, this is our situation. 43,143 people so far confirmed positive since the first case was announced way back in March. Out of these, 31,508 have recovered, 805 people have sadly passed on as a result of the disease. Across to some of our East African neighbors, starting with Uganda. This is the data there. 10,117 people have so far been confirmed positive for COVID-19. 6,725 have so far recovered, and 96 people have sadly passed on as a result of the disease in Uganda. Elsewhere, with our other neighbors, Somalia, 3,864 people confirmed positive for COVID-19, and of these, 3,089 have so far recovered. 99 people so far in Somalia have passed on. And finally, in Rwanda, the other East African nation, 4,953 people so far confirmed positive, and of these, 4,601 have recovered, while in Rwanda, they've so far lost, sadly, 33 people. That's how it looks on the East African scene in Kenya and around the world as the globe continues to battle with COVID-19. Now, a look at some of the other stories we have for you this morning. Egypt's Mahmoud Al-Tohami is a master of Islamic chanting, a 1,400-year-old art form known as Inshad. But that hasn't stopped him from performing the Game of Thrones theme song. At the age of 41, Al-Tohami is inspired by the mystical Sufi branch of Islam and deeply committed to the spiritual essence of the ancient performance of devotional poetry and odes. Egyptian religious singer says, "We found that most professional religious singers nowadays only rely on talent and singing spontaneously, unlike the pioneer singers who were chanting using their talent and proper knowledge. That's the reason why I established a class for Islamic singing, Inshad, to help polish these talented people through education and knowledge. Dozens of Christians gather to pray for peace and unity in the small South African farming town of Senekal, which is at the center of rising racial tensions. These reached a new level early last week when a group of mainly white farmers stormed a courthouse during the hearing of two black suspects accused of killing a 22-year-old farm manager.
Civil war will not start in Senekal, and that's what we are here to say. No to civil war, no to racism, no to farm killings, and no to women and children abuse and farm workers killing. So we are standing for the righteous voice, and we're lifting that up as the church here.
So that would be our message to the communities is pray. Don't pick up your arms. Don't fire that bullet. Don't go out to go and make war. This is not what our country needs. Our country needs a united country, a country that stands together, black and white, Indian, colored, Asian, doesn't matter your ethnic background, but to stand in righteousness and what Jesus did for us.
Declared in heavens.
So if you are a good citizen, then you are a politician. You don't have to wait to be appointed to be a member of parliament to take responsibility and ownership for leading your community with truth and leading your community with messages of peace, love, and integrity.
The Ivory Coast Independent Electoral Commission begins distributing voter cards in Abidjan in preparation for the October 31st presidential election. A total of more than 7 million cards will be distributed through the country. We see democratic backsliding in several respects in West Africa, said Matthias Humpe, a political scientist at the Open Society in West Africa. Especially in French-speaking countries, we see stricter criteria for creating partner and standing in elections is becoming more and more difficult, like in Ivory Coast and Benin, Humpe said. Alan Dons, who served as a UN Special Envoy to several African countries and is now with the Africa Center for Strategic Studies, says that over the last 2 decades, West Africa has led Africa's transition towards democracy. Unfortunately, what too often followed elections in West Africa has been disappointment, he wrote in a recent article. In Guinea, less than a third of the population has access to electricity, a lack of which is becoming a source of social conflict. President Alpha Conde, who is running for a third term in office in the 18th of October election, has placed electricity at the forefront of previous campaigns. But while Guinea's biggest dam is now almost complete, people in the interior of the country are impatient. There is still no distribution network to illuminate their homes, yet the big mining companies have power day and night.
The Suapiti Dam in Guinea is one of the largest hydroelectric reservoirs in West Africa. It is on the brink of starting electricity production. The flagship project of President Alpha Conde's second term in office, its 2,000 gigawatt hours of electricity a year, will double the nation's capacity.
Behind this wall today, we have around 4 billion cubic meters of water, but the maximum is 6,370,000,000 cubic meters. That's the reservoir's capacity. It's this body of water that's going to allow us to generate electricity.
The idea of building this dam, here on the Concoria River, dates back to colonial times. Construction only began in 2015, but has almost wrapped up. Operations will start on the 30th of November. A $1.2 billion loan from China's state-owned China International Water and Electric Corporation helped pay for the project. But no one knows how the electricity will be allocated. Some will be exported to neighbouring countries to help pay off the loan. People in the town of Botha, 130 kilometres away, have long been unhappy with poor electricity provision and are running out of patience.
It's hot. Look, here, there's no ice. Really, every day the state makes promises about electricity. They say we're going to improve your quality of life. There are lots of companies, but nothing works. Even yesterday, there were protests.
Groups of young demonstrators often target the installations of the national electricity provider. For the past 3 years, its generators have been supplying power for very limited periods.
Every day we turn it on at 7 p.m. and turn it off at 1 in the morning. But the message is people have to accept paying for electricity.
Ordinary people feel that the electricity allocation is unfair. Too little for them, while industries get priority. In the dark, local resident Sapierre watches a nearby bauxite mine lit up day and night. No power cuts there.
If you look over there, you'll see that row of lights there behind the trees is on the whole time. The electricity runs 24 hours a day. It's never off. The reason is simple. There's bauxite mining going on over there. But you wouldn't know that here. There's nothing for the people.
President Condé won a second term in power in 2015, partly on the back of promises to improve power supply in the country's interior. 5 years later, Sapierre waits. The lights come on at 9:30 p.m.
Archaeologists in Egypt said they'd found 59 well-preserved and sealed wooden coffins over recent weeks that were buried more than 2,500 years ago. Opening one of the ornately decorated sarcophagi before assembled media, the team revealed mummified remains wrapped in burial cloth that bore hieroglyphic inscriptions in bright colors. The discovery of the coffins is the first major announcement since the outbreak of COVID-19 in Egypt, which led to the closure of museums and archaeological sites for around 3 months from late March. Dozens of statues were also found in the area, including a bronze figurine depicting Nefertim, an ancient Egyptian god of the lotus blossom. Preliminary studies indicated that it was likely belonged to priests, senior statesmen, and prominent figures in the ancient Egyptian society of the 26th dynasty. Anani said all the coffins will be taken to the soon-to-be-opened Grand Egyptian Museum on the Giza Plateau, he added.
كده هنا في حاجة تانية عايز يكمل التكملة للأسف جت تحت الإيه؟ تحت الشريط الكتابي. طيب على ذلك يا سيدي. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. دكتور ارفع دكتور معايا. خش يا Can I the mummification? We can see the bandage. Okay. Look at the arms. Disappeared or affected badly. And كانوا كهنة عصر الصاوي عصر النهضة. This animal we call him عم. We call him عم. بيغطوا الطوابير. أبو العنين.
Swimming and riding bikes, and today you are announcing a big discovery in one of the World Heritage Sites in Saqqara.
المصرية ودي حاجة كلنا كنا في اشتياق إليها. كان دايما يقول لي ليه معظم
Excuse me? Oh, okay.
The Poacher was filmed over 6 days and is a global award-winning film made locally. It seeks to highlight the big issue of illegal ivory trade in Kenya. The film is the first Kenyan movie to stream on Netflix, and that had everyone talking about it. Here's a snippet of the film.
Ulipata kitu leo?
Baki hapo!
He's a poacher for sure.
Nicola, do not go after that man.
She's sending us straight to a gang of terrorists.
Zendelea kuishi hapa. Sio ndio unahitaji dawa?
Na atapata.
You are not the thief. But I know you know who he is.
Okay, so welcome to your world again. And this morning we are taking a comfortable seat. We're at the movies for the next couple of hours. We are looking at some of the Kenyan movies that are making, waves on the international scene. We brought together a panel of people who are involved in these films and to talk also about the future of the Kenyan industry. What does it take for Kenya to maybe enlarge or entrench its presence on the film industry? So let me first of all come to you, Davina. Good morning and welcome to the program. No, okay. As we fix your audio, Nick Mutuma, good morning. Can you hear me? Okay, we are in the world of film, but technology is not helping us out. Okay, Brian, is Brian available? Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. Good morning. Hi, how are you?
Hi, very well. Sorry, we had to isolate you in the northern part of Kenya in our 5th floor studio for,
yes,
for obvious reasons. Before we get into the business of movies, Brian, what is your new normal?
My new normal has a lot of alone time, a lot of reflection, a lot of washing hands, and some social distancing.
Okay. Anything happening on set, in studio?
I am currently working on a new TV show. I just recently joined. And basically, I'm still just trying to get the hang of things. I'm still trying to get back to work, at least try to see if we can slowly get things back to normal. Yeah.
Okay. How bad has the impact of COVID-19 been on you and your work?
It's been terrible, quite terrible, to be honest, because a lot of us in the creative space are highly dependable on a lot of social gatherings. And so since the pandemic hit, a lot of us have had to be forced to go back to our side hustles, and even those, because as you understand the economy and what's been happening in the entire world, a lot of things are just not working the way they used to. And unfortunately, some of us have been forced to go back to depending on friends or parents, or basically just doing anything to survive. I know some friends of mine who have had to move back to the rural area just because living in Nairobi was no longer tenable. However, there's also been a lot of positive things in terms of, like just initiative from creatives, because also the desperation of not having work has pushed a lot of us to, I think, want to produce more, because somehow in the midst of this pandemic, we find ourselves with a lot of demand for content and not really having the capacity to satisfy that need. Yeah.
Okay, Brian, thank you. Stay on set with us as I cross over to a couple that seated just across me in the studio, Boniface Mwangi and Njeri Mwangi. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Okay, now we brought you here specifically because you've got something coming. Did you launch yesterday? I just had
the premiere today.
Today?
Yes.
Oh, okay, someone misinformed me that it was last night actually. Someone who knows you. Okay, so Softy, what's that all about?
Maybe we should start.
Yes. Let's start from there.
I think for me, the way I see it, the Softy is a story of our life story, but it's not our life story as a couple, but more so as Kenyans, where we've come from and where we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this has been a story captured over a period of 7 years,
Yes.
I believe.
Yes.
What was the process like?
It started out as documenting the work of activism that we do and how to organize and mobilize people towards getting something that they want. But then it slowly turned into how that affects the family unit and how that affects the children and how that plays out in the public.
Oh.
So that's the way it started out, and that's the way it has ended as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we proceed, let's have a look at the trailer just to get a sense of what Softy is all about.
My father who worked in heaven, my dad got hurt by that police. Please tell him to get a better job. In Jesus' name we say amen. Amen.
Kenya has been ranked dismally as one of the most corrupt countries in the world.
MP. You have a right. You have a right to
Boniface Mwangi, folks. This young man is, one word, fearless.
Why are you arresting me? Why are you arresting me? What have I done? What have I done?
Where are you going?
Going to topple the government.
I can only imagine how scared I'd be, see my husband taken to the streets.
Now he wants to try his hand at politics.
What?
My heart is made up that I'm going to vie.
This is how you're telling it.
Ako tu sawa, ni bora tu ape hiyo. Asante. Hivyo nipigie kura.
Does Boniface Mwangi have deep pockets? No, he doesn't. Is he on the right side of the tribal kingpin? No, he's not.
He is going to be a casualty of other forces beyond him.
Do not come home. They will kill you. Activist Boniface Mwangi receiving death threats that for the first time target his wife and children as well.
It feels like just jumping into a river of crocodiles.
Okay, and so, Bonnie, how has this 7-year experience been like?
It's been a roller coaster actually. So if you look at when we began filming, my youngest was 3 years old, and now he's a 10-year-old boy, turning 10 in this October. So it's been a lot of emotions. You know, I actually watched the film for the first time in December, and I cried because when Soko was filming, I never saw the other side of what he was filming about my wife. It was very separated, and I never saw anything until I saw the final product. So for me, I felt a lot of emotions because everything that I watched on screen was something that I actually lived. It's something that I actually experienced. And also it was a heartbreaker because you see what your family goes through. I don't want to do spoilers, but the things that I heard my kids say about me that I thought, dude, man, you failed. Because he was filming me while campaigning, while out in the streets, and then he was filming my family separately.
So you had no idea?
I had no idea what
they
he
were saying even.
Yes, yeah. No idea. So when I saw that, I was like, dude, you need to change.
Have you changed?
Have I changed? Yeah, I cook a lot. I actually never knew why my things are in my house. I used to be like, ilikuwa kama lodging.
Yeah.
I come, then I'm out. You know, one of the saddest thing about when you're in politics and public life, you spend your best working moment when you're the most energetic with strangers. Like now you're here.
Yeah.
You didn't see your kids having breakfast. No. And this is your daily life, maybe on Saturday, and then Saturday you're so tired you sleep. And that happens to people who actually do public work. Like you leave your house very early, by the time you get home, you're so tired, you just want to chill and sleep. Yeah. And so you find that as the kids are growing up, there's a disconnect a bit. You don't know them as much as you'd like to know them.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Jerry, I know you agreed to this project, but having a camera inside your lives, even your intimate lives, for 7 years, that's very intrusive.
Like I said, it didn't start that way.
Oh, right.
The cameras were never on us like that, but we were passing by, we were serving people, we were commenting about some things, we were complaining about some things.
He was purely documenting.
Yeah, he was purely just documenting. So by the time the cameras turned to us, to myself and to the children, we'd gotten used to seeing the cameras around us. We'd gotten used to speaking, to passing in front of the camera. So by the time he was turning around to us and asking us questions, I felt like I needed to say something, because now I was saying it anyway. It was just, the camera was just not facing me, but now it's facing me, which is fine. Okay. So the transition into that space was not so hard. And then some of the footage is not all, what do you call it, a cameraman that was following. There was phone clips, just moments that we captured as we went along, just the way people do it. You, when you're with your friends, you'll shoot a video, a selfie. You know, someone will shoot a video of you and you're doing something. Right. So it's...
I'm laughing. Yeah. A shot at giving birth.
Oh. On that note, I'm going to take a short break. We'll be right back to find... What? Okay. We're on a short break right now. We'll be right back to hear more from Modi and Jerry. They've shocked me already.
On the Trend, 10 p.m.
I got my first job basically from the airport. That time they were commissioning the Mall of Emirates.
He is part of the works in the ever-changing Dubai skyline. In Senegal, the story of Kenyan athlete turned financial expert Felix Boutit. On Kenya to the World,
we are planting close to 3 million plants every week.
The hunger for Kenya's frozen avocados. And on My Magical Kenya, my 3-hour circuit around Lake Turkana.
Story time, story time.
Long time ago, no animals had legs, and only human beings had legs because Makoro had given them.
Everybody sit down.
All the animals were sad and worried.
Sit down quietly.
Bam! The other chickens laughed out loud. Ha ha ha!
Listen carefully.
Join us every Monday with Grace Ekirapa on the Nighttime Tales.
It's story time.
I got my first job basically from the airport. That time they were commissioning the Mall of Emirates.
He is part of the works in the ever-changing Dubai skyline. In Senegal, the story of Kenyan athlete turned financial expert Felix Boutit. On Kenya to the World,
we are planting close to 3 million plants every week.
The hunger for Kenya's frozen avocados. And on My Magical Kenya, my 3-hour circuit around Lake Turkana.
This that I am telling you, that I am causing you to see by the Holy Ghost, is what differentiates a lecturer from a man of God. The lecturer does not have the ability to make you into the knowledge they are giving you. Here, right here. The ability is there to make you everything that you hear. Glory to God.
Change can be disruptive, but Business Daily has got you covered. Get evolving market trends, ingenious business ideas, and the latest tech content in the new market dynamic and exciting lifestyle content in the new normal environment. Business Daily. More possibilities.
Get an 8-acre prime residential plot with soil merchants in Kisamis along Magadi Road at 148,000 Kenya shillings for cash buyers or 195,000 Kenya shillings for installment buyers. Come to our open day on 17th October.
Okay, so welcome back to your world this Friday morning. And as I said, today we are treating you to a movie. We are on set and we're also in a theater to discuss a number of films that are making some really good progress across the international scene. Kenyan films, films made by Kenyans who are here in the studio with us. Let me introduce my guest, my panel this morning. Seated across here in the studio with me is Boniface Mwangi, well-known socio-political activist, but better known as a photojournalist who's been documenting his own life and the life of Kenya as we go along with Njeri Mwangi, his lovely wife. They'll tell us more about what they've been up to. And then across our 5th floor studio, we've got Brian Ogola, who we've just introduced right now. An actor well-known on some of the well-known films that you may have been watching. We are also joined via Zoom by Nick Mutuma, who needs also very little introduction. Nick is an actor turned producer, director. He'll tell us all about that, especially on the film Disconnect. And then we also have Davina Leonard, who is an actress and also was co-writer, I believe, producer as well, of Pocha. We also have in our next door studio, Ella Maina, who is an actress. Trap House, our viewers on NTN, on NTV will recognize more of that more of her on that show. So that's my panel. Have I forgotten anyone? No, that's it. So there are people whose names are on the big screen, and we hope that these films will make a really big wave for this country and for the story of this nation. So let me start with you, Nick. Good morning and welcome to your world again. Hi, Nick, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay, lovely. Sorry, we just lost your audio for a second, but now your picture and audio are absolutely fine. Now, Disconnect, tell us about that.
Well, Disconnect is a project that we worked on in 2018. Wow, 2018. 2018. It was directed by Tosh Kitonga, and it's a romantic comedy about living in Nairobi and, you know, the ups and downs of life, love, and, you know, all things Nairobian. So it was a very special project because it was Tosh's second feature film, and you know, we're just happy that it's finally on a global platform like Netflix.
Okay, and how is it doing?
We actually just premiered last night at midnight, and we're keen to see what the reception will be like for the film, but we anticipate that Kenyans will love it. We don't really have, well, we only have 2 films, well, 3 Kenyan films on Netflix. And I think it's exciting that we have another one on the platform.
Okay, great. Now, your transition from acting from behind the camera to in front of the camera to behind the camera, how's that going?
It's going remarkably well. The second film that premiered on Netflix on the 9th of October is Sincerely Daisy. We actually have one of our cast members here, Ella Maina, and I was fortunate enough to direct the film. And you know, for us, the experience was amazing. I mean, production-wise, but you know, it's just been really great to receive such positive feedback from Kenyans about the film. Kenyans all across Africa, because it's licensed to Netflix Africa. So, you know, there's always challenges here and there, and as far as transitioning from acting in front of the camera to, you know, working behind the camera. But, you know, it's,
okay, Nick,
sorry. Makings of.
We're losing your connection, but maybe this is a good moment for, if you're waiting for Disconnect, haven't seen it, now let me tell you about it. We've got a trailer here. The dating scene in Nairobi is a web of deceit, lust, betrayal, and complications. That's where Disconnect thrives as a film. Exploring this dating scene are the characters of Nick Mutuma and Brenda Wairimu, who are just a few of the stars in this film that is currently streaming on Netflix. Now here's a taste of the movie.
I'm so sorry. I think I read that all wrong.
No, that's not it. I just don't like, you know, I don't like it when my women are...
Or what?
Easy.
Okay, so now I have both questions and comments.
Listen, I have some free time if you want to pop in and consult on perimenopause.
You're an orthodontist.
I do know my way around.
Please don't finish that sentence.
Am I not allowed to tease the boss?
Clearly, we all need to go out. Where we need to go is church.
I'm gonna get you really drunk so you could tell me how you managed to pull that off.
Actually involves alcohol and her secretary.
Twice in one day? That has got to be some kind of record.
I'm here because I'm scared of losing you.
Nicky boy, quit steaming your balls. We've got a bachelor party to kick off.
Okay. What's Khalid's last name?
Shots, anyone?
Khalid's your last name is let's get this party started. I haven't been out in ages, man. It's Muhammad, right? Ali.
Nope.
Abdallah. Oh, hold up.
I need to have something that I can't lose.
I don't know what you want from me.
Josh, what are you doing?
Hey, baby.
Okay, so Nick, that's the trailer. What should viewers look out for?
Viewers should expect to be entertained. It's a really great film. My co-star Brian is also on this panel, which is exciting to see. Hey, Brian. But yeah, you know, it's a film about dating in Nairobi and the ups and downs that come with, you know, being a millennial, you know, being in your early 30s and discovering yourself, and I believe that it's going to resonate with not just people in Kenya, but you know, all around the world, because the film is being streamed worldwide.
Okay. So Brian, how does it feel to have this this Kenyan product streaming across the globe?
I'm very proud. Of course, very excited as well. I mean, from the first day I was part of the project, Disconnect always felt like a love letter to Nairobians, and I really hope Kenyans can embrace the film and at least watch it. And let us know what they think, regardless of what their opinions may be. We just want Kenyans to be exposed to the work that we are involved in, because that's the only way we can grow. We just need to keep on pushing content, and we need to expose Kenyans to what we're doing.
Okay. Brian, thank you. Now, from the snippets I've seen some scenes which would shock me out of my ID card. Would you advise that I watch it with my family?
I think it's been rated. I can't really remember the rating.
Okay.
However, I would advise at least teenagers and above. There is a little bit of adult themes in the film.
Yeah.
So yes, maybe to protect our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be careful.
Thank you. The entire life in Kenya is adult content, to be honest. But okay, Davina, let me turn to you now. We played the Poacher film trailer earlier. Your thoughts on that film?
My baby, I guess. I don't know. It's been a long time. It's strange to revisit it. We wrapped on it 2 years ago, so it's strange to kind of see all of like the behind the scenes footage and have these discussions and bring it to the public once again. But it was such a happy time for the whole cast and crew. Actually, we had such a good. It was this bubble of 6 days of filming, and it was just like, take me back.
Looking back, anything you've done differently?
Raise more money so we could have made it a feature.
Right. Okay. Let me also introduce Jerry. Good morning and welcome to. Sorry, no, beg your pardon. Ella Maina, good morning. Welcome to the show. Can you hear me? Yeah, you're just across, literally 10 meters away from me, but you can hear me well.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that film just shocked me a little bit, so I'm trying to just gather my pace again.
It's okay, compose yourself.
Okay. Now, let's just before we chat, let's play the trailer to your film. Now, Sincerely Daisy is an urban Kenyan drama about family, young love, timeless friendships, and the reality of tough economic times that was co-produced and directed by Nick Mutuma, starring a host of people, among them our very own Ella Maina. Here's a look.
Mi naitwa Daisy, and I can confidently say that my life is turning out just right.
Oh my goodness, this is so good! Yes.
I passed my KCSEs, and now I'm plotting world domination with my best friends Amina and Lisa. And then there's my boyfriend, Kolo. Did I mention that we're destined for stardom?
You and me acting as lovers on stage and off stage. Oh my gosh.
You can start.
That you don't know me by name.
That's enough.
Or so I thought. My Peros have my entire life figured out for me.
Convince nipeleke my baby all the way to China. Nilikwambia niko na kazi na koko Beijing naweza msaidia kusettle in nini.
I think it would be best if she said it here.
Shida yako ni tu Daisy abakio.
Na nini mbaya na hiyo?
To open doors for her.
But sasa,
I thought you'd get that.
lazima wa fight about it kila time. Manze, in life, there's some things that you just don't want to happen.
Hey? Okay, what was that about?
Mbona udema na post picha na boyfriend wako?
Kwa nini demu yako?
Collins! Mbaya na wewe?
Nimekuja kama amelewa.
What? But lazima wa accept.
Shushu, my life is falling apart. Welcome to adulthood.
Life ingekuwa so much better ingekuwa inakam na manual.
Sincerely Daisy. Ella, tell us about this film. How was the experience?
Well, I'm very proud of myself and the entire team that took part in the making of Sincerely Daisy. The experience was quite overwhelming because we shot this film in just about 8 days, and judging from the results, I think we did a pretty good job, and yeah, for that short span of time, it was overwhelming. It took a lot of time, and not a lot of time, it took a lot of effort, but I'm glad it led us to Netflix.
Okay. So Nick, another of your baby, tell us about Sincerely Daisy.
Yeah, so Sincerely Daisy is a coming of age story about you know, a young girl who's just finished her KCSE exams, and she has all these dreams and aspirations of becoming an actor, of going to study abroad, which is the dream of you know, a lot of young people who are finishing their high school education. But she soon discovers that, you know, it's not as easy as she thought. She realizes that you know, life has so many challenges. So it's basically, you know, her adulting and you know, experiencing different situations with her parents and with her boyfriend and her friends.
Okay. Thank you. So that's a lot of romance and lust and all that. Let me come back now to the harsh reality of Kenya with Boni. Back to Softy. Before I speak to you, have you watched it, Njeri?
Yeah, I have.
Wow, you're cringing.
It's very difficult to see your life as you know it, as you see it on screen, for the public domain to also just see. So it's, for me, I feel like it's an unveiling, it's a exposure of things that are very close and personal to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boni?
I think it's a love story as well, and I think it's a very powerful story. It's about modern day Kenya and goes back to history. Why are we the way we are? Why are we tribal? Why do Kenyans vote the way they vote? So it's more beyond just our stories about what Kenyans go through day to day. And actually, unfortunately, and very sad, is that Ezekiel Mutua rated the movie adults only.
Wow, yeah.
And the reason why is because there's a bit of violence, police violence, and that's the police violence that you see every day on TV. So I don't even understand why you can't let other people watch it. So I'm hoping that the director Samsung is going to try and get redress so that it can be lowered to 12 years old, or even below, because our kids are going to be at the premiere tonight.
Right.
Because it's their story.
They haven't seen it before?
They have seen it once.
Okay.
And they're going to see it today for the first time in Kenya, because it premiered in Sundance, so we went to the US to do that. But they haven't watched it home. And during that time, it was 2 a.m. in Utah, and 2 a.m. in Kenya. So for them, it was a bit, the time zone was not very good.
What was the reaction when they first saw it?
They cried a lot. I think everyone was crying. I know they made even me cry, because I was in for the second time, because they were crying, my wife is crying, everyone was crying. I don't think you're going to go to the movie theater to watch the film and live with dry, like that. You're definitely going to be touched.
Okay. Now, Boni, people know you a lot as a social, political activist.
Yes.
Your wife backs you up. She also does her own activism. What about the children? Are they junior activists?
No, they are active citizens. So I think we're bringing up our kids to be fearless, to have urgency, to understand what is integrity, what is honesty, to speak the truth. I think one of the things that colonization actually affected our country is we were taught to be very civil and not to argue and not talk back to the teacher and not to ask questions. And so we end up becoming very cowardly in our life. I don't know of any other continent in the world where kids have to ask the teacher permission to go to the toilet. You know, like basic things. But every day, a child has to ask permission to actually exist. If visitors come, they have to leave the room. So those are not our kids. Our kids, they have learned to actually argue with us and debate with us. We don't tell kids because they said so. We tell them why. You must back up your decision with reason. And they have a right to actually appeal and argue with you and defend their stand. So there's boundaries with respect, yes. But our kids have learned to use their mouth.
Right.
So there's no, in our house, we have 5 of us. So there are 5 votes. If I get outvoted, I lose. I can't say because I'm the dad, this is the way to go.
Right.
No, there's democracy in our house.
Sometimes. So, talking about voting,
yeah.
You decided to put yourself up as a candidate.
Yes.
Tell me briefly just about that experience.
It was, the campaign was
which is also, I believe, captured in
the film, yeah.
Yeah, in the film.
The campaign was a heartbreaker in a way, because you think that you know what voters want, and you give them your best, and then they say, no, you're too poor. No, why are you not in this particular party? No. So one of my saddest story, I hope I can say this very quickly. I go to Mukuru slums. Mukuru is in South B. I go to this man's house. He lives in a shanty, in a very small house. And then he doesn't have a bathroom. There are no toilets. So he normally uses polythene bags to shit, like he uses polythene bags. So the whole house is smelling of human waste. He has 3 kids, a wife, so there are 5 of them. So sit down in his house and say, I'm going to work for you. I'm going to build communal toilets in this community. I'm going to ensure that when you need to go to the bathroom, you don't have to use your room or use these polythene bags. There'll be toilets for you. The man looks at me and says, I hear you, but I want to know, at the very top, who are you voting for president? So this man doesn't want me to talk about his problems. He wants to know, how does he align with me? And that it was the story, everyday story.
Right.
I'm campaigning, I meet people, they're telling me, we una do, we nini. So there is that feeling that the voter feels like that vote is a commodity to sell it to you. And that broke my heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Nick, let me come back to you. Netflix, what does it take to have a film on Netflix? What did you have to go through?
I would say that, you know, you have to, first of all, have a great film, a great story. You have to meet the technical standards. And you have to have a distributor. I think the biggest challenge for the film industry for many years has been the lack of access to distributors, the lack of access to a distribution channel, you know, ways of getting your film out there. But I think now things have changed, whereby there are a lot of Kenyan companies and a lot of international companies that are interested in representing Kenyan films, not just on Netflix, but on several international platforms. But the long and short of it is, yeah, you have to have a dope movie, man. A movie that they believe will resonate with their target audience.
Okay, and to you, Davina, would you say that are Kenyans also consuming Kenyan in terms of movies and so on? We've seen them in theater. I'm a big theater lover, but I don't know whether that's also transports into the film industry.
I think this recent spate of so many Kenyan films coming onto Netflix and the excitement around that is really going to change things. I think up until now, not really, but I really think that we're turning a corner now, and guys are really getting behind all of us. So continue, long may it last.
Okay, Brian, you're sharing with us the challenges for people in the film industry during this COVID-19 season. What are the gaps? What are the challenges in producing a film as an actor, director, producer in Kenya today?
The very first thing would have to be the cost. The cost of making film in Nairobi and Kenya in general is quite high. There are no tax rebates that are being offered in our film sector like it's happening in other countries in Africa. And that makes it very difficult to, number one, excuse me, attract investors, and it makes it hard for stakeholders to actually, sorry, excuse me, to actually collaborate and put out content that is worthy.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, Brian, I just lost your last sentence, but yeah.
No, I was just saying we need more tax rebates because if you look at the other film industries in Africa, you find that they have heavily incentivized their film sector with tax rebates, and these efforts go a long way in bringing down the cost of making films. So currently, I would say one of the biggest issues about filmmaking is the cost, and there's so many beautiful places in this country that are so expensive to shoot in. Like our conservancies, our national parks, and these are the things that bring heritage, and these are the things that we are so proud of, but yet it's so difficult to film at these locations. It's so difficult to show people just how beautiful our country is. Another challenge would just be, I think there is also a lack of distribution. So a lot of the content that is out there that has been made for Kenyans is not necessarily being consumed by Kenyans. And I think with the platforms like Netflix and other online platforms, I feel like new distribution plans and strategies can be worked on, and eventually we will expose a lot more Kenyans to the content that we're making.
Okay, thanks, Brian. And to you, Davina, you made this film, Poacher, in 6 days. What was the journey? What were the challenges?
Creating a dead elephant prop and transporting ivory from Nairobi to Voi. We were stopped many times. There was a pickup with ivory, essentially what looked like real ivory. A lot of cops were not happy with us.
Did you need a permit for that?
Yeah. We got all the permits. Thank you very much. But we had to actually prove that these weren't real props, but they looked so real. And then of course that elephant was attacked by hyena after we finished filming. So it was mainly just logistical, like all of the fun stuff that happens on set. The challenges were just getting guys together and actually saying, you know, please do this at mates rates. Please do this because we have a bigger view and a bigger aim for this film. So everyone had actually like worked together on previous projects and really come on board just because they believed in the project. So we were so thankful to be able to go back to our cast and crew and say, remember the 6 days of intense shooting for very little money? Now we're on Netflix. Thank you very much.
Wow, and I know that Nick talked about filming in 8 days. What does it take to film, you know, it's a major film, to squeeze everything that you need to do, considering the weather and the cast and everything else, into just 6 days?
It takes a lot of caffeine and a lot of carbohydrates. You just keep guys fed and watered, and they're a lot more amenable to late night shooting. But yeah, it was really intense. But I think that's why we all do it, right? It's that adrenaline.
Okay, great, thank you, Davina. We're going to go on a short break now, but just before we do that, there's some comments from you guys on our hashtag New Normal, and this first comment is from. We're asking you, what should Kenya do to ensure a bigger presence for its film industry on the international scene? And this is what you've said to us. First one is Prince Mike. You say, have a clear procedure where grassroots talents are able to be portrayed without the current stiff hustle and bribery, accompanied by a quality regulatory body. I think this might work, you know, some way on the, towards getting us on the map. Thank you, Prince Mike. Another comment here from Nyamulo Maximilian. You say, when politics is going bad and breeding poverty, nothing good else seems possible in such an atmosphere. Okay. And then Kenodia Mudega, you say, by not being copycats in everything, be creative and original. Okay, asante. And another comment here from Nancy Josa, you say, well, put enough money for the film industry, create something that allows tapping off as many acting talents as possible. And a comment from Job Wangi, you say, well, better filming equipment, I guess. Okay, we'll hear from the professionals what they say about that. Abu Bakar Sharif, you say, actors with good skills. Well, actors have good skills, excellent skills, I would say. Well, plus good language command, international language. Sio movie kona slang tu zetu hivi. Hey, where Abu Bakar niaje? Priska Ayoma Paul, improve on creativity and originality. Okay, thank you. And any more? Okay, so that's last comment. Keep your comments coming in on our hashtag Dinamo. We'll be right back with more discussion about the film industry in Kenya and on the international scene. Stay tuned.
Long time ago, no animals had legs, and only human beings had legs because Makuru had given them.
Everybody sit down.
All the animals were sad and worried.
Sit down quietly.
Bam! The other chickens laughed out loud. Ha ha ha!
Listen carefully.
Join us every Monday with Grace Ekirapa on the Nighttime Tales.
It's story time.
Huyo jamaa unaangalia hapo unamdespise atiana form. Hey, shida. Mungu halali. Kuna day utapatana na yeye ameomoka mbaya. Gari ni ile nono na life inamwendea fiti. Na wewe umechapa. Mako. Do hivi. Jisort na huyu Morio. Mjenge life. Usije ukaregret mazee.
To get Jisort na Morio by Vuma, dial *811 *930#. Skiza na Nation.
At one time, he was arguably the third most powerful man during the first 4 years of President Daniel Arap Moi's rule. Like his close ally, former Attorney General Charles Njonjo, he would later fall out of favor with Moi. But unlike Njonjo, Gigi Kariuki would be rehabilitated.
This surprise that the Kenyans have as to why you should drive together in a limousine with the president shows how the Kenyans are still not yet matured politically.
It did not pay to be in the bad books of Kariuki or Njonjo. But the situation would soon change to Kariuki's great discomfort.
Do you really think that I enjoy seeing, despite all the years that have passed, that you're still madly in love with my husband? You took him away from me, like you always do. You're living the life that's supposed to be mine! You're absolutely crazy!
You need to understand that nobody wants you here.
I don't know why you hate us so much, madam. You certainly do.
Make my life hell, but if you mess with my daughter, I'll make you regret the day you were born.
Why would you break my heart this way?
And haven't you broken my heart?
Along Came Love, in association with Blue Band Peanut Butter.
The deputy president was present at the event where King Solomon was falsely accused of murder.
Alikuwa mawe mmoja na aligonga Goliath mara moja taro.
From that clip by Father John Pesa, we have not established kama ni John anaongea ama ni pesa, but sana sana ni pesa, because hapa Kenya mali kuna pesa. When it comes to a murder case, you can never know who killed who.
I'm a full-time musician.
So school fees ya psychology ilienda na maji.
Nilimpatia degree, nikamwambia mama santi, sasa naweza taka kufanya Kenya mimi nataka kudu.
Ni lack of hizo opportunities
za kuwa scientist. Hata mimi naweza argue ningekuwa engineer, but opportunities za kupata physics 70% ndio sikuwa nayo. Ama
Did you know that you can join Safaricom Sacco? Membership is open to individuals, and corporate employees can also be enrolled on checkoff. As a member, you save and enjoy affordable loans at favorable interest rates and mortgage facilities. Safaricom Sacco, empowering you.
Get an 8-acre prime residential plot with soil merchants in Kisamis along Magadi Road at 148,000 Kenya shillings for cash buyers or 195,000 Kenya shillings for installment buyers. Come to our open day on 17th October.
Welcome back to Your World this Friday morning. Today we're at the movies. We've got a panel of very strong Kenyan filmmakers and actors sharing their experiences with us here in the studio. Boniface Mwangi and his wife Njeri Mwangi talking about their film Softy. We also have Elamaina, who is an actress with a long list of productions she's been in. Brian Ogola is also a very well-known actor who's with us in our 5th floor studio, as well as Nick Mutuma, who is an actor, director, producer, also joining us for this conversation, and via Zoom as well, Davina Leonard, who is an actress. The film Pocha is what we identify her with in this conversation. Now, Ella, let me come back to you first. As an actor in this country, what are the challenges that you and others like you have been facing in producing films?
I think the biggest one would be the unavailability of jobs. The job market is a bit, competition gets a bit stiff around here because there are some actors already established in the industry, and then you find that in most productions, they're the ones that are going to be cast, leaving no room for the other actors who are yet to establish themselves. So I think that's been the toughest thing so far. But I'm hoping that gets to change now that someone I know is on Netflix. But then, yeah, there are jobs, but then a lot of actors, there's so much talent here in Kenya, but then a lot of actors don't get to get these jobs. So that's one thing that we need to work on.
Okay, Brian, let me pick this up with you. What's the trick? Because you've been in a number of successful films, Disconnect, Pocha, Lusala, 18 Hours. Who's your agent?
I have been my only agent and manager and everything. If I would just say to anyone who's trying to make it in the film industry, in whatever area it is, I would say and emphasize on competence over anything else, because in today's world of social media, a lot of meritocracies are falling by the wayside, and not many people are focusing on competence and actually being able to be reliable and dependable, because at the end of the day, professionalism speaks for itself, and if you're a professional, you will find a way to the top. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Now to everyone on the panel, at the beginning of the pandemic, the government set aside 100 million Kenya shillings for the creative industry to support them. How many of you guys have received any of that money? In Tanzania, Nick? Nick, they're all look. Nick, can you hear me? Okay, Ella, I saw you smiling. How many millions did you receive?
If I could count all my millions right now, I think they'd add up to 0. I got nothing.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
From that kitty? Okay.
Unfortunately.
All right. Brian, anything in your wallet from that fund?
Not a single cent.
So where are the creatives? Let me also ask Nick Mutuma.
No, didn't receive anything either.
Wow. Okay. Davina, anything coming your direction from the government?
Not yet.
Okay, keep your M-Pesa lines open. I'm sure the government is watching and there might just be magic. So, Nick, tell me about the challenges of production today. You are trying to, you've got professional actors, crew on set. You haven't got quite enough budget. What do you have to go through?
Being on set is, in an industry that's developing is a very tough experience, because you're trying to achieve Netflix standards, quote unquote, on a very minimal budget. The challenges mostly arise from, accessibility to locations. We're not able to secure the best gear. We also have to pay a lot of money for licenses, which, we've been very vocal about as creatives. But I would say, on a good set, you work with the challenges. You work with the cards that you've been dealt with. And that's one thing that I commend Kenyan filmmakers for, because, we work with what we have and we create content that is of a global standard. So imagine if we had the right kind of support from the government, if we had the right kind of support from corporates, where we could be.
Okay. Davina, let's talk about our skills and talents. I know you're a script writer as well, as being a producer. What's our level of skills, or what are the skills gap, I should say, in the industry in terms of the whole array of things that you need to produce a good film?
I think skills are there. Skills are for sure there. I think development of skills is lacking, is missing. I think certain types of acting, you know, stage acting and film acting are so very different that that we have to really just be careful that when we're shooting, we are switching the overproduced, over-exaggerated theatre acting off, and we're making it more refined and minimal. But please, I mean, the skills are there. It's the harnessing of it, and it's the support. The training and the support is lacking.
Okay. To Bonnie, let me first of all start with you, Jerry. Throughout your life with this man who's sitting next to you, seeing him on the receiving end of police batons and tear gas, what goes through you as his partner?
That's a difficult question. You would think that would be an easy question, but it's very scary. I think at the end of the day, what I have always prayed and hoped for is that he'll come home. He'll come home whole. I know he doesn't come whole because either he's hurt, and I mean physically, and also emotionally and mentally, but that he'll come home and we can deal with that so long as he's there. That's, I think, the simplest and all I could ask, that he comes home.
What about the children? When they watch that stuff on TV, see these images on video?
We don't do TV in our house.
At all?
I have been very intentional in ensuring that I protect them from everything that I can. Still not shielding them as if this is not their reality, but some things are really not necessary. So we will not watch that kind of stuff on TV. I watched it once, the very first time he was beaten at Nyayo Stadium. And we only had one child, and he was watching TV, but we didn't even know it was him. And I remember when I saw it, I was like, "Woi, mtoto wa mtu, kai." Then shortly I was called and I was told, "Where's your husband? That's your husband." And it all came back to me, and I was like, I would never want my children to feel the way I felt inside. I felt like my blood just went cold. Like I got paralyzed for a moment there. Yeah, and I would never want my children to ever feel anything like that.
And Bonnie, when you're in front of police lines,
Yeah.
GSU, is family at the back of your mind?
No, if you do that, you're going to get distracted. So even when I go to a protest, actually, every time I'm afraid. You're fearful because you don't know what's going to happen to you, and you expect to be beaten or tear gas. Something's going to happen because the police in Kenya do not respect the right to protest. So you can't think about family. You have to think about staying alive and ensuring that what you're doing is not foolish, and ensuring that your heart is in the right place. So there's a bit of prayer as you march, and a bit of saying, I hope that we go home, all of us together.
You've put your life on the line for this country. Has it been worth it?
Is it worth it? Yeah, I think if you ask the Langata Primary School kids, if they love their playground, they say they love their playground very much. If you go to Naka Primary School, they say because you went there, they still have the school property intact. There's benefits from this. And the whole idea, the reason why we do such bold things, we're trying to encourage other people to stand and do the same thing. You know, in other countries, actually, Martin Luther King Jr. marched with his kids. He marched with other people's kids. In other civilized country, people are respected when they protest. And even in this country, the Constitution allows us to protest. And that's why we go to the streets with our kids, because we believe that it's their right to be out there and to understand it's your civic duty to demand better. The problem we have, our police still have the colonial mentality that every time you're protesting, they tear gas you. Look at the history of protests in this country. They are always peaceful. The violence comes from the police. But is it worth it? It's worth it, because the reason why we're here today, the three of us, black people, having this discussion, because our forefathers kicked out the colonialists.
Right.
Yeah, they're not even educated, but they fought those guys and said, we have a right to be human and we have a right to be like a man. So even us, we must progress those gains that we got from our forefathers. We have a free media today because people died for us to get free media. So the whole idea is, every time we do things, it might not seem like you're progressing, it might not seem like you're gaining anything, but there's behavioral change, there's attitude change, someone gets encouraged, inspired, and that's what we hope with the film, that when you watch that film, you're not going to live the same.
So, but you've suffered quite a lot through the years. And so to those of your critics who say, huyu Boni amelipwa, hii ni pesa imetoka Ulaya, this guy is, yuko kazini, he's at work and earning a salary from some donor somewhere. That's why he's doing these crazy things.
It's my favorite question in the world. Because I'm like, how much money would you want to be paid to be beaten, to be shot at, to go to jail, to be given death threats? It's not worth it. What people forget, I was an award-winning photographer. I was one of the best, not in Kenya, on this continent, not once, 3 times, 3 years in a row. I was the best photographer. I have skills. I've worked. I almost came to work in this media group because I was being poached by Nation. So the point is, I would actually make my money in a less risky way. I don't make money from that. And if I was making money, do you know who has access to my accounts? The government of Kenya. They would have told you who gives me money. So just propaganda.
Right.
The whole idea, I think because people have to try and console their cowardice and their fear by saying he must be paid. Because let me ask you, do you have to be paid to fight for your own rights? If Kenya became less corrupt and Langata Primary School played in the playground, is there a white man from the West who's going to come and play there? Like for today, do you think there's any other person who can come live in this country? No, can we come live in a failed nation? The concept that you must be paid to fight for your rights, that means there's a problem. There's a problem right there. People must understand it is your civic duty to be an active citizen. Your role as a citizen is not just to vote and walk away. You vote and you hold your government accountable. I'm holding their government accountable for my kids and my family.
Okay.
What are you doing about it?
Okay, thank you. Now, Brian, you've been in a number of films, as we mentioned earlier. Where did you have the most fun?
It would have to be Pocha and Katikati.
Why?
Just being out there in the wild, because both films were shot somewhere in Savo or near Savo, because Katikati was shot in Savo and Pocha was shot in Rukinga and parts of Voi. So it was just a lot of fun being, out there in the outdoors. I think it helps me as a professional to get my character a lot faster, as opposed to a regular set. Yeah.
And where were you most miserable?
That's not a fair question.
It's very fair because you play good and bad.
This would probably be, I don't know if I can say.
Go ahead, the nation is listening.
This would probably have to be, there was a time we were doing films, and we were doing films in terms of a film every week. It was for a particular station, and that for me was probably I had one of my worst experiences on set there because just of the lack of professionalism, the lack of a proper script, even though we just had 7 days to shoot the whole thing. So yeah, that was pretty miserable.
Okay. Yeah, I could see you didn't want to mention the station. We will not as well. We will protect the dignity of that station. We have ideas though. Ella, to you as well. When have you been at your best? Now you speak South Korean accent. You throw in some Hindi. You're versatile in your array of skills. Where have you been? Where have you had the most fun?
I'd say Sincerely Daisy. That is my baby, and everything about it has just been amazing from the word go, because we shot Sincerely Daisy right after an acting competition called The Next Superstar that I featured in, and that's how I secured my role on Sincerely Daisy. So I had the most fun because this was one of the most professional sets that I'd been on, and the chemistry with the people on set was generally good. The energy was really good, and I had a lot of fun. Much as it was exhausting, it was very fulfilling.
Okay. Where weren't you fulfilled? Where was it not worth it? You can say.
Fulfillment is something I always get when I'm in front of the camera. I don't think I ever disappoint myself, and sometimes the production might be very hectic and hectic is the word I'd use. I'm a film student, so my school productions, it's a lot harder to do them because you get like a team of 10, 15 people to shoot a film for your school project, and we're doing everything for ourselves. It's not as easy as when you get support from a professional set of filmmakers. So school productions have been very hectic.
Okay, and on Pieces of Us, how was that?
Sorry?
So I beg your pardon. I'll come back to you
Okay.
with a separate question. Nick Mutuma, for you, what creates happiness on set?
You know, just that, I would say that unison, like when everybody is sort of working together towards the greater good, and all the heads of departments are happy, you know for sure that you're gonna get a quality product. So for me, when the crew is happy, I'm happy. And I think that goes both in my capacity as an actor and as a filmmaker now. You know, creating a series or a movie is a team effort. And, you know, when one person is not happy, or when one person is not having a great day or experiencing challenges in their department, it's gonna affect the entire flow of work on set. So it's really gotta be, you know, everybody in the team has to be happy.
Okay, and of your children, whether you've acted in these films or directed them, what's been your biggest headache?
I think doing post-production during a pandemic has been the toughest experience I've had in my life, because I mean, post-production, for those who don't know, is basically when you stitch the movie together, where now you have to edit it, you have to create the score, you have to add, you know, you have to do the graphics of the movie, and you have to do the grade, which is, you know, the color and, you know, of the film, and, you know, doing those things remotely, because, you know, when we started doing post-production in March, we were so restricted in our movements, was incredibly tough. So, you know, for our team who's watching this right now, you guys are amazing. We pulled it off. Asante.
Okay, thank you so much, Nick. Now we'll take another short break here, come up for the final leg of this discussion. Just before then, let's see whether we've got some feedback from you. Any comments on our hashtag #NewNormal? Yes, Alexander William, you say, well, get more Kenyan stories out there. The Kenyan culture, the Sheng, how we live with each other in Kenya, with our different cultures. The Kenyan way, the Kenyan thinking, the Kenyan style. Very few people are trying it. Let's purge Hollywood from our film industry. That includes even having the Kenyan film industry being known as Kenyawood. Well, that name, you come and ingia. Kinodhia Mudhiga. The only original thing in film industry is wildlife documentary. Okay, we've moved on. Kinodhia Sawa. Chris Thompson, you say corruption is a limiting factor. Fully agree with that. Thank you, Chris. And this is Amos Mayindo. Where can we get these Kenyan films? I'm going to come on that in a moment. These guys will tell you where you can watch all these films, all these great films that we're discussing here. Utambwani, it all starts with we Kenyans. We must embrace and support our own film content and stay original. The word original is coming up quite a bit, and creativity, what Atuambia, people on the set. You see, come on, being versatile and aggressive in the industries. Engage international producers in the content creating. Thank you for that. And this one is from Africa Kesho. They just need to be real, not aping either the Bolly, Holly, or Nollywood industry. Let them create a Kenyan wood about Kenyan stories. Oh, thank you for that, Africa Kesho. Lipset, you say, where can we watch Softy? I'm going to give Bonnie and Njeri an opportunity to say that. Amos Mayindo, where can we get these Kenyan films? Okay, maybe let me do that quickly, just before we go on the break, Bonnie. So where can people watch this film?
From today until the 22nd, we'll go to Diamond Plaza in Parklands.
Diamond Plaza?
Yes, yeah. From today.
Okay.
2:30 p.m. it's open.
That's Nairobi?
That's Nairobi. For guys in Eldoret, Rupas Mall in Eldoret, from today as well, you can watch it. And then there's Greenspan Mall in Doni, that's from on Tuesday the 20th. Prestige Plaza It's from today, but today sold
Nairobi,
out.
yeah.
So from tomorrow you can watch it there. So it's all over. Then you're going to go to Kisumu and Mombasa later on. And spread the word. It's a nice film, actually.
Okay, I can see from the sellout that it's already beginning to attract attention. So we'll take a short break. We'll be right back with more on Your World.
On the trend at 10 p.m.
I got my first job basically from the airport. That time they were commissioning the Mall of Emirates.
He is part of the works in the ever-changing Dubai skyline. In Senegal, the story of Kenyan athlete turned financial expert Felix Boutit. On Kenya to the World,
we are planting close to 3 million plants every week.
The hunger for Kenya's frozen avocados. And on My Magical Kenya, my 3-hour circuit around Lake Turkana.
The new Maisha Aluzinc Mabati from Maisha Mabati Limited. For the first time in Kenya, a roofing product that combines aesthetics with proven resilience. Its unique combination of aluminium and zinc gives it a 5 times longer lifespan than normal Mabati, thanks to the excellent state-of-the-art mill. It has 20 years lifespan, it's easy to install, it's flexible and durable, it stands up to severe weather conditions, has good abrasion and rust resistance, it's affordable and is approved by the Kenya Bureau of Standards and is available countrywide. It can be used for all applications. Always insist on Maisha Aluzinc Mabati, a product of Maisha Mabati Rolling Mills, Ruiru.
Maji mdosi wangu ametupa simu yangu ndani ya maji.
Mdosi wako kwa sawa. Venye Nkirota ameniambia ajui na akimpigia simu ashiki. Hey! Guy! What
For the women who deserve more, Moped is now in Kenya and more than 40 countries. With its nylon-free surface, new Moped has unique softness and up to 100% protection. Your skin will love it.
Bank wakasema mwenye ako na loan tuende kwa bank. Mtu vile alikuwa amechukua loan yake kiwango yake akareduciwa. Sasa ingekuwa maisha ni ngumu kabisa. Sasa nimekuwa marafiki na Equity Bank kabisa.
Building tips for general construction. Fast drying should be portioned well with ballast and sand. Mixing should be constant. Should not have excess water. Exactly 50 kilograms guaranteed in each bag.
Adding strength to Kenya's landmarks. Power for specialized constructions. Cementing the nation's future. Simba Cement, the strength and pride of Kenya.
Now also produced in Nakuru and Mombasa.
On your most trusted property show, this Sunday we bring you an exciting learning experience about how you can build a house with roofing steel sheets, commonly known as Mabati. And if you haven't gotten a chance already, we're going to be joined once more with Kenya's most celebrated entrepreneur and founder of Maisha Mabati, Dr. Narendra Raval.
If you're born poor, it is not your fault. But if you die poor, it is your fault. Make sure you earn money, you do something in a right, legitimate way.
All this and more as we give you a sneak peek preview of some of Nairobi's prime properties. Catch the show this Sunday at 5:30 p.m. only on NTV.
Property Focus in association with Maisha Mabati. The new Maisha Aluzinc Mabati from Maisha Mabati Limited. For the first time in Kenya, a roofing product that combines aesthetics with proven resilience. Its unique combination of aluminium and zinc gives it a 5 times longer lifespan than normal Mabati.
Get an 8-acre prime residential plot with soil merchants in Kisamis along Magadi Road at 148,000 Kenya shillings for cash buyers or 195,000 Kenya shillings for installment buyers.
Come to our open day on 17th October.
Welcome back to Your World, and this morning we are looking at some of the big Kenyan films which are making it big on the international scene with a really good panel here. Boniface Mwangi and his wife Njeri Mwangi with me here on set. We also have Ella Maina, an actress who's also joining us from across the studio, and then Brian Ogola, another of our big actors, joining us again from the 5th floor newsroom studio. We're also joined via Zoom by Nick Mutuma, actor, producer, director, and also Davina Leonard, who is an actress, also co-producer, co-writer of the film Poacher. But just before we get into the discussion, let's look at what else is on the international scene. Now, a showcase for classics rerun on the big screen, a rendezvous for big names in cinema. And this year, a window on a selection of films destined for Cannes but denied a showing by the coronavirus epidemic. The Lumière Festival opened on Saturday in Lyon.
I didn't miss the red carpet. I mean, it's not all films doesn't go on the red carpet. It's just a very small fraction of what we do. But I think that it's a beautiful way to show the world that the industry is still here. It's still alive, and so I wanted to be here.
Festivals like this, in times like these, are very, very important. They're always important, but even more so right now. You know, people have been pulled out of the cinemas, back home in their sofas, watching television. Now we have to pull them back into the cinemas. And the encouragement coming from these kind of festivals is super important.
Okay, great to see cinema is back now. Peru's best-known tourist site, Machu Picchu, has opened after months of coronavirus closure, but for just a single visitor, a Japanese man stranded in the country by the pandemic.
This is truly amazing. Thank you, Minister of Culture Alejandro Neira, for letting me see this paradise. Thanks all to all the people and institutions that helped me, especially Dirusetur and Municipalidad and La República.
Okay, no, Vega, no.
I'd really love to go there. Japanese cinema needs an overhaul, acclaimed director Koji Fukada believes, calling for less reliance on manga adaptations, more money for art house, and better treatment of workers. The 40-year-old's latest film, The Real Thing, was chosen for the main selection at this year's Cannes Film Festival. 4 years after he won a jury prize for emerging talent, the glitzy French gathering was scrapped this year because of the coronavirus. But that has given Fukada more time to reflect on his concerns about the film industry at home. Among them is what he sees as an over-reliance on adapting popular graphic novels rather than commissioning original ideas. He's not opposed to manga adaptations. His latest movie is one, but he warns that the genre's ubiquity has a negative effect on diversity. It's difficult to produce non-commercial films in Japan, where a lot of importance is given to their marketability, he says. Okay, back to Softy, and before I let Bonnie and Jerry go. So, can I now call you guys film stars?
No.
No, really, no.
Okay, what should we describe you?
But our daughter is so excited about it. My daughter says, I'm a star, I'm on a billboard. So for our kids, are like, yeah, we're stars.
This is the deal.
But for us, it's actually a true story. So, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to ask you a very personal question. How does this work? You've got a relationship. Well, it's on screen now, so I need to ask this. You're very close as a couple from my observance of of you in different scenarios, even on the film. This man gets beaten all the time, he gets locked up, he gets thrown on the ground, but you've still stayed together. How?
I think I have a love and admiration for him. The first thing that drew me to him was like serious admiration because of what he wanted to do and what he yearned for.
That was before he was getting bitten?
That was before.
Okay.
Imagine that's the same thing that has kept me there. I still love and admire the person I met. I still admire and love the Kenya that he sees. And that's where I want to live. So I'm with him still because we can live in the Kenya that we want. But I know it also takes work. And, well, it's the kind of work that it's taking, the beatings and the arrests, is not what I'm talking about, but it turns out it's part of that process. So my dream is still that we will live in the Kenya that we want.
Okay. Yeah. Bonnie, I'm going to ask you this. Sorry, I know you're a gentleman, and I'm not asking you to go through your marriage vows again. For Njeri, what does she mean to you in your work? Because I know it's going to come out in the film.
Hii nani amekutuma?
So Njeri is my world. The things that I'm able to do today is because I know that I have comfort and love back home. And I know that my kids are safe. You know, you can't risk your life if you know that if you died, your kids will be left very poor and without support. So there's that feeling that even Jerry alone, she's that girl who take care, she's my ride or die. So without her support and without her love, I wouldn't be able to do what I do because I get so much, sometimes I get a lot of hate and pushback. But when I go home, I go to warmth and love and sunshine, even when outside it's dark. So she's my everything. Without her, I don't think I would have achieved what I've achieved so far.
Aww.
Wow. And there's a question I actually wanted to answer for you. You actually asked about what can the government do to support the film industry. And I think the talent begins when you're young. And so there's a need for every school in this country to have a social hall. There's a need for every ward to have a theater because you have very few theaters in this country. The biggest theater in this country is Kenya National Theatre. Was built by the colonialists. The government hasn't built another theater in 100 years. So we need more theaters. We need more money in the industry. We need to give people tax rebates for them to be able to do that. As long as there's no government support, there'll be no theater. You know what's the saddest thing in this country? You never see the president in a theater or in a film screening. You never see them. You see them in golf. They care about the rich, not about the poor.
On the stadium.
And stadiums, they go for votes when there's a soccer match, but they rarely go. This current one doesn't even go to the stadium. There's a need to see active support by the government of the industry. I want to see the president in theaters, in film screenings. I want them to see them building social halls in every primary school so that that young child can get their talent. Because most of these people who are talented, they learn their skills in church. Juko church kuna pulpit.
Yeah.
So there's a need for that. And I think Ezekiel Mutua, what should be pushing right now is the building of theaters and social halls, not banning films and being very anti-art industry. Okay,
my last question, the children, what do they think of their parents, especially Bonnie?
I'm crazy.
Okay.
Jerry can say that.
Wow, I was waiting for you to. Well, I think because we've been their parents all along, we've not been introduced to them. Like any other normal child, you like your folks when they do good stuff for you. When they chopper you don't like them so much. But I think they appreciate that we are very open with them. Like I said before, I've tried to keep them on a need-to-know basis and protect them, but not too much, because it's still their reality. Okay. And either way, in the world that we live in now, they will get to hear this stuff, or they will see it before they hear it from me. Bonnie, so we need to be the first people to tell them these things.
Bonnie, here in the town, do you think of death?
A lot. Milisha kufa.
How many times?
Many times. I think I was so fixated on me dying before I reached 30 that I was going to die. Then I reached 35. Then now I'm 37. Sankara died yesterday when I was 37. Okay. So I think about death a lot. But right now I feel like, hey, now I'm invisible.
Okay. And the kids are growing, so they need you.
The kids need me.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Let me say something quickly about kids, actually. So our kids reflect you. They see what you say, but they don't do what you say. They do what they see you do. So monkey see, monkey do. So if you want your kids to learn the right behavior or the right character, you must reflect that in your everyday behavior. Because your silent language, they observe that a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We wish you and the family and the kids as they
Thank
go
you very
to
much.
watch
All
you.
Kenyans, please come and watch the film.
Softy.
And please share your feedback. The same way you share bad feedback, share everything. Say it. Andika kwa mtandao. Tutasoma.
Okay.
And thank you to the director Samsoko and the entire crew.
Yeah,
And thank you for hosting us. We had an amazing time.
Thank you very much indeed. Sasa, Brian, let me come to you. Tumenyamaza sana huko chini. I hope you're still there.
Still here.
Okay, now, for this next few minutes, I want the panel to help me structure some environment that can help us, you know, in terms of our film industry. So, Brian, if we were to make some recommendations to government and the powers that be of what kind of environment we need to produce better films, what would you like to see happen? What would you put in those recommendations?
Of course, tax rebates. It seems like a no-brainer that the government can do immediately to attract filmmakers and film funding, which will go a long way in helping the stakeholders in our sector to, you know, exploit those opportunities. Secondly, just like Bonnie said, I completely agree that we need to find a way to exploit the talent from the grassroots level, because I feel there are a lot of people who start out and they eventually drop off because of the lack of proper structures and the lack of like an actual hierarchy that you can go up professionally and make your money, start a family, you know, and live a good life and at least be able to support yourself. So at the very least, we need tax relief, tax support to attract the funding, and we need to find a way to get to the grassroots level, identify this talent, and help nurture it grow to a point where we can be proud of these people and we can actually help them create careers, especially in a country where a lot of the issues we're struggling with has to do with unemployment. So I feel like this is it's really a no-brainer for our government and the Kenyan people. Last but not least, we need a centralized CBA, or we need to unionize on a grand scale such that there is a way we can collect revenue for our creatives and make sure that everyone is able to at least make an honest living from this work.
Brian, just on that, in other countries, you've got the Screenwriters Guild, you've got the Actors Guild. What do we have in Kenya?
We do have a Screenwriters Guild. We have Kenya Actors Guild. I am actually a member of Kenya Actors Guild. Just to give you a little bit of context, before SAG became like an official body that could be recognized in Hollywood, it was 50 years, you know, since it was first created. So considering we are just a sector that is still in infancy, I would say we can fast track the unionizing, and it doesn't have to take us 50 years to actually come up with you know, a nice format for unionizing on a grand scale.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Brian. Davina, let's bring in on as well. What would you like to see changed or improved in the environment to help us produce bigger, better movies?
If I was to ask the government anything, I would like to see really well-managed awards or funds specifically for film, but really well-managed. And that comes with the support from initial stages of idea and scripting all the way through. It can't just be like some guys apply, they get it, and then everything disappears into nothing, right? Just aided and guided through that process. And I'd also really like to see, and I think this is something I'm talking to myself and to my peers here, I think if we turn to each other and then helped each other grow and develop each other's skills, and it's something Brian and I have talked about a lot, actually. Brian, I'll call you. But if we helped each other with the support and the talent nurturing, and then that in itself would feed down to grassroots guys. I mean, I'm constantly getting messages going, oh, think of me when you make Poacher the long form film. Think of me, you know, when are you going to audition widely? It was an open casting call for us. But the thing is that it doesn't trickle down. And I think if it falls on us, who on my peers, that we start looking at nurturing guys from below, you know.
Okay, Davina, thanks. And for you, Ella, what changes would you like to see?
I really don't think I can put it in a much better way than Brian and Davina already have. But basically, we just need the government to be on our team. Sometimes I feel like they're working against us with all the regulations and how difficult it is to film in Kenya because budgets are crazy. It is very expensive to film around here. So I just ask the government to please be on our side. Work with us, because at the end of the day, we all are Kenyans and we're trying to put our Kenyan film scene at a much better place than it already is. That's all I have to say.
Oh, okay. And for you, Nick, your thoughts on changes in the industry?
I think that as an industry, we are on the right track. What we as filmmakers need to do is just be more consistent and stop focusing on our limitations and trying to figure out what we can do with what we currently have. On that note, I'd also like to commend the Kenya Film Commission for what they're doing. Lately, there's a lot of deliberate effort being made to support filmmakers. And I foresee a very bright future in this industry. So we just all need to put in the work, and I think it will go a very long way.
Okay, Nick, while you have the airtime, where can people catch your work?
All right. We have something for everybody. If having a Netflix and you want to watch a good movie this weekend, you can go to YouTube, where you'll find our film You Again. Just search You Again and you'll find it there. It's a romantic comedy. It's super entertaining. But if you are on Netflix, you can catch two of our films there. There's Disconnect, and there is Sincerely Daisy, starring Ella Maina, who's also a part of this panel. Please watch, enjoy, share. We need you guys to watch this film as much as possible, and share as much as possible, so that Netflix will be interested in more Kenyan content and more filmmakers from Kenya can benefit from this platform.
Okay, Brian, where do people catch you and your work?
Netflix, most obviously. Poacher, Disconnect. I'm also on Showmax. 18 Hours, which was the best overall film in Africa, the 2018 Africa Magic Viewer's Choice. There is also Lusala. It's available on mymoviesafrica.com. You can also catch me on Pieces of Us, right here on NTV, I think every Wednesday. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay, guys, in the last remaining 5 minutes or so, I just want a thought from you. There are some young filmmakers who are watching this show. What tips do you have for them for acting, for producing, for screenwriting, for being part of a crew? Where does the journey begin? What lessons have you learned that they should avoid, the bad ones that is? What tips? And I'm going to start with you, Brian, because we're mtu wa nyumbani.
I would say, I would just emphasize on competence, discipline, and a vision. Because if you're not working with a vision, you'll most probably fail. So really work on your vision and make sure the vision has space to grow. Because in an industry that is really struggling, if the vision doesn't have space to grow, you'll still have chances of falling by the wayside. So focus on your competence, focus on being a professional, because at the end of the day, that is the only thing that counts. Just like in any corporation, if the CEO does not have a vision that everyone else can buy into, you will not succeed. So have a vision that you can buy into and you can commit to, and something that helps you wake up every day in the morning to just go and put your best foot forward. So focus on competence and professionalism.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Let me come to you, Nick, as well, for your tips for upcoming filmmakers. Hi, Nick. I think we may have lost your audio. Sorry. Davina, do you maybe share your tips for people who want to join this industry?
Sure. I would go with quality over quantity. So it's all about budget and the people you're working with and pre-production. But really, guys, make something really, really strong. Make less of it if you only have that kind of cash. Quality every time.
And briefly, Davina, a lot of our viewers talked about the importance of originality, creativity. Your thoughts on that?
100%. I think, there are no new stories, but there are different ways of telling them and of writing them. Yes, absolutely. Different. And I think that's what people want and are calling for in this day and age. We want something new, we want something fresh, but most importantly, we want something honest.
Okay, let me see if we can regain connection with Nick. If you can hear me, Nick. Your tips. Sorry, I think we've lost you now completely, beg your pardon. Ella, your thoughts for young upcoming actors, actresses?
I'd say stay true to yourself. It's very important to understand your own definition of what an ideal actor should be. That's subjective to you. And then there's the objective idea, which is the society's idea of what an actor, an ideal actor should be. So you need to verbalize that and make it clear to yourself. Don't pay too much attention to people's opinions unless you respect them enough and trust them to guide you in your career and your life decisions. So stay true to yourself.
Now, Ella, you play so many different characters in so many productions. How do you manage to do that without having a permanent split personality?
Well, I'm thankful that I haven't gone cuckoo yet. I don't think I will, but like I said, stay true to yourself. I know what I want to get from acting. I understand my experiences, and I just know, I think with all the characters that I've played, I've learned to switch and intermingle with them. They're part of me now, but like I said, I stay true to myself. So I know at the end of the day, I am Ella Minor, and I've played a lot of different characters, and I'm represented in each and every one of these different characters. So stay grounded and stay true to yourself, like I said.
Okay, so what's your method though? What's your trick? I know you stay true to yourself, but what's your approach? Do you go on set knowing I am whatever it is character, and you know I'm the bad girl here, and you know how do you switch as you play more roles?
There is no trick. I think you just need to understand your character in a on a really deep level. Honestly, there is no trick. I spend a lot of time trying to bring life to my character. I focus. Let's just say I build my character. I spend a lot of time trying to figure out what exactly I want my character to be, such that on the day that I need to report to set, this is a completely different person that I'm bringing to set, not Ella. So just take time to kind of perfect your character.
And just to be clear, which character am I speaking to right now?
There's no character here. This is Ella.
Lovely. Brian, what's your method? What's your approach? Again, you also are a versatile actor who's played many roles. Yeah. How do you maneuver in between all these characters?
There's something I learned from one of my acting coaches, and it was just simply live truthfully in imaginary circumstances. So every time I'm on set, if I don't have enough time to prepare for a character, I usually heavily rely or just heavily expect my director to give me the best kind of direction, or just heavily rely on the script. And always try and remember that acting is simply living truthfully in imaginary circumstances. And I think that accurately embodies my method.
Okay, Davin, I'm going to come back to you from a scripting or writing point of view, which is a really difficult thing to do. You spend a lot of alone time with yourself. What are your tips for people who want to get into writing?
Wow, you're really testing me this morning. I think, to be honest with you, there's a lot of free tips and tricks and tutorials online. And also, whenever you have a script, just get your friends to read out the dialogue, because the dialogue is the hardest part to nail down, to actually write actually how people speak and sound, you know, so it doesn't sound clunky. So just use your family, and I can't tell you how many times I've made my mom read out a scene and things like that. So just use the people around you, you know, it's nothing is easy in this game, in life. So use what you have and use the people who want to support you.
Okay. Now, Ella, you told us there isn't a lot of work that's been available during the pandemic. Are you hopeful that things will get better?
Yeah, I am very hopeful. I am so optimistic that with a couple of our Kenyan films on Netflix, that puts us on the spotlight, and I pray it's going to be hard to ignore us now. So I hope that things are going to look on up from here now.
Oh, okay. And finally, Ella, where can people catch you?
Netflix on Sincerely Daisy, and there are some episodes of The Trap House, which is a show that I featured on, and it used to run on NTV. So you can get our episodes on our YouTube page, which is at The Trap House TV show.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed to you, Ella, as well as Brian Ogola, Nick Mutuma, Davina Leonard, and Boniface Mwangi, as well as Njeri Mwangi, who've left. Thank you so much, and congratulations, guys, for putting our name on the international map on Netflix and other international platforms. Congratulations, Edina. Thank you so much for joining our conversation this morning. Okay, so that's all we have time for. We'll be back on Monday morning, but just before we do that, some of your feedback here. There's a comment here from Dila. You say, well, they should use the social media networks like Twitter, Facebook to stay in touch with other parts of the world and create and maintain connections with the potential collaborators of the film industries from the other countries. Thank you so much, Dee. This is from Wangoi. You say, watching it soonest, watching Sincerely Daisy was great. Go, Team Kenya. Indeed, I am with you on that. Simon Karinga, I'm a film writer. I wish we can work together. I also finished my KCSE last year. Okay, Simon, I hope you found the tips useful here on the show. Carol Kamau, you say, we should also raise our kids in being proud of local production as they're in the digital age, and that accumulate to free promotion. Cost of viewing for locals can be adjusted. Screening needs to be closer to most without creating a sense of separation by class. Thank you, Carol. Kamau, you say, improve local policies on filming. Brian just mentioned that it's difficult to film on locations like the national park because it's too costly. How does that make sense when, you know, the local tourism is getting free advertising from the film? Hapo nakubali kabisa, Kamau, thank you so much. Magnus Swiftsy, you say, I really hate the fact that nearly everything is always about Nairobi and its citizens. Why not try other counties, Nakuru to be specific? I understand that Nairobi is the capital and most opportunities come from there. Okay, sorry, didn't finish that quite. Utambuani, you say, it all starts with we Kenyans. We must embrace and support our own film content and stay original. Okay, so that's it. We're back on Monday at 7 a.m. Before then, as always, we've got you covered in terms of getting you fit from 6:30 in the morning till 7 a.m. There's our fitness instructors giving instructions from the comfort of your home. You'll be able to follow their advice and their tips and to keep you fit and healthy. Until then, enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. On behalf of the NTV team, crew and production team here, thank you so much and have a good weekend.
Change can be disruptive, but Business Daily has got you covered from Monday to Friday. Get evolving trends, ingenious business ideas, and the latest tech content in the new market dynamic, and exciting lifestyle content in the new normal environment. Business Daily. More possibilities.
Welcome to Pishi Home Chef. Oh, just perfect.
We're gonna be cooking breakfast.
Making chicken mishikaki, carbonara.
And I'm so happy to be on this show.
Most people think I can't cook again.